So here I am, the one person that said, I never use a gimbal, I never need a gimbal. You know, my camera has amazing optical image stabilization both in the body and in the lens. And here I am with the AK2000. So before we start this video, I just really quickly wanted to actually let you know that this is a product that I got from Feiyutech. One day they actually got in contact with me and asked if I wanted to do a review of their product. It is not a paid review, they didn't tell me what to say or anything like that. They just said if I wanted to get one of these, see if I like it and give out a review. They did send me out the unit, but it is my personal opinion. And if you follow my channel, you know that I use the Panasonic G9. It arguably has one of the best stabilizations on the market. Even more when I use the dual IS, when I use the 12-60 kit lens on the body. Basically, the dual IS makes everything seem like a gimbal-like smooth footage. But there is a limitation to that too, as you can do a lot of smooth footage with your hand if you actually get used to it, and a body like this and lens like this one and this one actually help a lot. I had a lot of messages stating that they didn't even know that I was shooting everything handheld. And here's the thing, I actually am 100% always have been using only handheld footage. No external stabilization like a gimbal. So this was really fun to do, and I'm not gonna go into specifications because I don't think so that's what I really want to do. I want to show you the things that I liked about this gimbal and why I think it's actually a really good travel gimbal. And because this is a travel channel as a whole, that is what I'm gonna be focusing on today. The thing is, if it's actually travel friendly, how is it working? And I'm not gonna go too much into specifications, but I'm just gonna let you know that it has like 2,800 grams payload, which means almost every lens with almost every camera, especially mirrorless, are good for this setup. So I'm not gonna go into huge unboxing what we have in the box, because you know that in the box you have everything you need to get started. But one thing that I really enjoyed what Feiyutech did is they actually got this case, which is very nice because they actually packed everything inside of it. Let's unlock it for a second. And it's a nice case to carry everything. You have the power, you have the cables, everything, the gimbal inside here. And if you like that kind of stuff, which a lot of people I know do like this, you can actually take it with this. This is like a carrying case for the gimbal. So with all of that out of the way, we can actually now start with the gimbal itself. Do I think this gimbal is good for travel vlogging? And the short answer is yes. And one of the main reasons for that is I've always thought that a gimbal will actually weigh me down a lot and slow me down a lot. Making content already slows me down a lot, so having to actually stop by and pick out something from the backpack and then actually, you know, use it, that's gonna take another time. But with this, I found a couple things that I really enjoyed. First things first, you can see that this is actually 3 parts. There's at the bottom, there's actually a tripod, which is actually really useful because there's 2 things that you can actually use this for. First things first, if you wanted to use it like a dual grip, really easy to do. Second thing is, if you want to have your camera mounted on top, it's very easy to just open up this tripod, put it on, you know, a surface, and then have it stand. So easy to actually put the camera on the gimbal. Another thing is the portability of this tripod. Thing is, it actually has beautiful things here. Not only this can actually get off, there's actually another part. You see there's red underneath this. Let's focus on that for a second. If you look here, there is this screw. If I wanted to, I can actually unscrew this and have this in 2 parts. So, as you can see, all you have to do, unscrew, and now you have the main part of the gimbal, the one that actually does everything, and then you have the handle by itself. So that is actually what happens. One of the things that I was very worried about was the portability. I'm a travel vlogger and I already have a lot of gear. The drone, extra lens, DJI Osmo Action, a lot of things that I have in my backpack for the travels. So I was thinking, if I'm gonna actually fit this inside the backpack, and the good thing is I actually tried and I actually put more than usual. I even put the camera and the microphone inside my backpack, and I still fit the whole setup inside, which is beautiful because, like I said, I didn't expect this. I thought I'm gonna be probably using it only when I'm in a controlled environment or with the carrying case. Good thing is I can use it anywhere I want to because of that reason, because it is so portable. So basically you get two good things. Portability, but the strength is still very good. And one last thing that I like about this is, well, I need to get a little bit more of accessories, but the quick release mount is the one I think that people have on the Manfrotto tripods. So basically you can really quickly get it in and get it out of this setup. Very easy, very quickly. Now I just have to find a way to actually have it so that I can get from Joby GorillaPod to this in same speed. So now to the point where everyone was waiting for. How does this actually work? Is it actually worth using? If it's actually worth, buying? And this is going to be coming from someone that has, like I said before, a huge benefit of having great camera for stabilization. Like I said, a lot of people ask me how I got those shots and how are they supposedly handheld. The camera helps a lot and getting used to it. But I wanted to see how much more does it improve? So we actually went out and did some test shots. If you look closely, when walking with such a great stabilization in camera, you can actually get pretty good footage right there. With the gimbal, you get even more smooth footage and it's much more easier. You don't have to do some ninja walking to get really good footage. When you run though, this is where the fun begins. With a camera, even with this kind of stabilization, there is no way to get this good footage. I was trying my best, running and trying to get as steady of a shot I could. There is no way to get that. But let's say you wanted to have one of those shots, you wanted to have a running shot. This just pretty much blows it out of the water. This actually shows the true potential of a gimbal. Actually getting shots that you would not normally get. Another thing is, I usually don't do much 180 frames per second slow motion on this camera because there is no autofocus on it. And if I were to do something with a running stance, there is no way I would actually get the same perfect place, like, having the camera in the same exact distance from the subject. But with this, it's much easier because the camera is not moving that much. The only thing I have to worry about is trying to be in that same, like 5 meters from the subject. And this helps a lot. And this actually let me do a running 180 frames per second slow motion, which was amazing in my opinion. Another shot that I really enjoyed is I was trying to do a 360 orbit around f-chicks, and the thing is, if you notice, with the hands you still see some kind of jerking everywhere. Sometimes you will see like a jerk of the gimbal inside the camera, or some kind of different jerking because I stepped on something, like it's not that easy to move around on grass and not a perfectly flat surface. The thing is, it isn't always like that, especially travel vlogging, so you actually have to try to do your best. And this thing once again blew the handheld footage out of the water. I could actually do a perfect 360 and it looked very cinematic right there where we shot it. So this already brings me to the point where I feel like it is worth taking with you. It already brings so much more quality to your content. But there is one more thing. This actually brings you the possibility of actually getting a unique perspectives, unique angles, and unique shots that you would never actually expect. One of the shots I tried was I was actually holding it very high, trying to get these leaf shots from the top and then getting lower to f-chicks to see if I could get possibly a much more cinematic footage, much more cinematic shot actually than normally. And I was pretty happy with that. Like, it really seemed like a great shot. And it was pretty much my first time trying this gimbal, so imagine if someone was actually very proficient with this and have used it for some time. And a shot like this would never be possible. One, the stabilization. This actually gives me a bigger reach. Thanks to this, I was actually holding it up in the tree to the leaves and then getting back to f-chicks. A lot of times you might have seen I try to do a walking shot of the feet, but the problem with this is you don't really know how to do it. You can actually sit down and try to do one step at a time, but it doesn't work like that. And this is once again just coming in to save the footage. Why? It's very easy to just hold it down to the ground and actually get the lower footage, which really adds to the experience. And last but not least, from the shots that I really enjoyed that this gimbal actually helps you with, ever since I saw this one specific shot in Black Panther from Marvel, I've always wanted to try it. The one where it spins 360. And there's no way to do it handheld. We tried it so much, it's very, very hard. We could get like a 90 degree, but not a full 360 degree, you know, directional spin. The thing is, this gimbal doesn't have any stoppage completely around as much as you want. Thanks to this, if you actually position yourself forward, you can actually let this gimbal go around the 360 axis. Thanks to this, we got this awesome shot, which I really enjoyed because I finally got to do one of my bucket list shots.
So a quick editorial note, I forgot to mention a couple of things. First off, the gimbal actually has 3 settings: the default, the action one, and the smooth one. Basically what it does is it changes the way it turns and acts. On the action one, it's much more, you know, fast and you can really quickly turn around. On the smooth one, it's gonna take actually a little bit more time. It's not gonna be very sharp movements, but that is depending on what kind of a shot you want to get. There's also another setting that is very cool, is you can actually pre-program where you want the shot to start, where you want it to end, how long you want to have that movement go, and then you get that shot.
And one last thing that I really wanted to mention about this is the build quality. I really like the build quality. The tripod on the bottom is very sturdy, very strong. I really like it. Then if we go to the handle, not only have this screen here, which is really cool, you have the screen, you have the buttons. If you look right here, you can actually see the buttons, everything, even a joystick, everything here, which is really cool. Very easy to use. Actually, this is a touch screen, so it's even easier to use. And then this as a whole actually has very, very good build material. This is actually very sturdy, but at the same time, it's not that heavy. For a gimbal, it's not a heavy gimbal. And one more thing that is in the build quality, this grip is actually rubberized. If you look at this, I don't know if you can actually focus on that. This grip is actually rubberized. Thanks to this, the grip actually feels so good. It doesn't feel like having something cheap in your hand. It actually feels very, very comfortable to hold, which is really nice, and that proves that Feiyutech actually went all out on this product. It is one of the more budget-friendly gimbals, but it doesn't sacrifice on anything. Not only it has nice payload for mirrorless, you have good grip, you have accessories, and everything works how it should. And the build quality is good, and you can actually have it, you know, put apart and put in your backpack. Everything I would wish for a travel gimbal.
And one more quick editorial note. You see, this gimbal actually has an app. You can actually get an app for your phone which lets you connect it to the gimbal or to the camera, depending what kind of camera you have. But basically, you can connect to the camera, to the gimbal, and you can actually change settings or use the gimbal remotely with your phone.
I already know that I am in love with this thing, and I cannot wait to travel with it. Try it out, try to get a different, unique perspective that I usually wouldn't get. So in summary, do I actually think it's a good gimbal? Yes, I do. Would I say that it's worth the price? I think so. The price, it's not actually that bad for a gimbal. And the best thing is, like I said, I'm a travel filmmaker. This is something that I actually will use because of the travel-friendly body, travel-friendly, you know, having everything be separated and easily put in the backpack. And it's not too heavy. So I will use it for my travel content. From now on, this is actually gonna be right there with my drone and everything else in my backpack. Would I use this for commercial shoots? I think this is actually something that I would 100% always have with me on commercial shoots. If you're doing anything that is more in controlled environment, something more professional, something like a event or maybe just something that you are actually getting paid for, this is totally worth it. If you're actually looking for a budget-friendly or a travel gimbal, this is also the way to go. If you were thinking about this, I highly recommend it and showed you a little bit more about this from the perspective of actually using it and not only specifications, because I think specifications are good, but I'm not a kind of person that is gonna look at specifications. I just want to see the real world performance, how it actually performs. A couple things before we end this video. If you like the music in this video, check out Epidemic Sound, link in the description. This is actually a link that can help me back. Another thing is Patreon. If you want to help support this channel and get something back, that is the place for this. And that's gonna be a link in the description. Last but not least, travel the world. If you are a travel photographer, videographer, you just travel the world, or you just want to know something about the world, check out the link below. It's a Facebook community group. So that's gonna be it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.